On January 20th, 2017, Donald J. Trump took power as president of the United States. He had openly campaigned on carnage. He ran for president promising to give the rich more, to bring back torture, to wage a war against immigrants, and to build his wall. He was gleeful in pledging to make America's healthcare system even worse. He promised to bring back torture, to fill Guantanamo back up, to kill the families of suspected terrorists. He said he would ban Muslims from entering the United States. He encouraged police to be more brutal, has given aid and comfort to Nazis and white supremacists. He openly promised to wage war against women and their bodies, to pummel the environment, to benefit the already ultra-rich. He is corrupt to the bone, has been for a very long time, and he's proud of it. He brought into his inner circle a dangerous cabal of neo-fascists, white supremacists, and more recently, neoconservatives.
It is among the worst violators of the UN Charter and UN Security Council resolutions, perhaps indeed the worst violator. It is truly an outlaw regime.
If you cross us, our allies, or our partners, if you harm our citizens, if you continue to lie, cheat, and deceive, yes, there will indeed be hell to pay.
And on Russia, for all the talk of Russia collusion and Trump being an asset, Donald Trump has dramatically ratcheted up official hostilities with Russia. Look at the ongoing attempted coup against a key Russian ally in Venezuela, the Trump administration's arming of Ukrainian forces with lethal aid, Trump's open threats to massively retaliate against Moscow if they interfered with Trump's bombing of Russian ally Bashar al-Assad. Trump hectored Angela Merkel and Germany over their purchase of natural gas from Russia. Trump has imposed sanctions, expelled diplomats, on and on. Trump has been pretty damn hawkish on Russia, despite all the absolutely questionable behavior and constant lies about his discussions with Russian figures or people attached to the Kremlin, and his public comments about Putin and his meetings without notes. But as commander-in-chief, Donald Trump has been as hawkish, if not more so on some issues, than his predecessors.
I don't have a bad personal relationship with Putin. When we have conversations, they're candid, they're blunt. Oftentimes they're constructive.
And now we come to this whole Russiagate matter. We do not yet have Robert Mueller's report, and Attorney General William Barr is a shady character. He was a key player in covering up the Iran-Contra scandal and getting pardons for some of the key criminals involved with it. But it would be an unthinkably brazen move, even within Trump world, for William Barr to just whole cloth misquote Robert Mueller when he says that Mueller determined that there was no collusion, no criminal activity by Trump and Russia to interfere in the 2016 elections. So now we have this saga dragging on, and the Democratic chairs of several key House committees seem intent on continuing this investigation regardless of what the Mueller report says.
They can't indict the president. That's their policy. And therefore, there could be overwhelming evidence on the obstruction issue. And I don't know that that's the case.
No, but we know there was collusion. Why there's been no indictments, we don't know. But let me say further. We know a number of things. We know what I just said. We know that the president pressured the FBI to go easy, to stop investigating.
This much is clear. This has been an utterly colossal media failure, and it reveals how little things have actually changed with the broader press since the Iraq War lies. The overall tone of much of the reporting on this Trump-Russia story has started from the position that the intelligence community was being truthful about Trump and Russia. The reporting then sought to further confirm those assertions. It was confirmation bias to the nth degree. The starting point should be, to quote I.F. Stone, all governments lie. That's the biggest common denominator between the Iraq War media failures and the ones we've seen here with Russiagate. Also, the fact that Trump is a cartoonish, buffoonish villain contributed to an atmosphere where the attitude was that anything Trump was accused of, no matter how insane it sounded, was totally plausible, if not likely, if not certain to have happened. Trump was not supposed to win. It was Hillary Clinton's turn.
And tomorrow, let's make history together. I'm Hillary Clinton, and one last time, I approve this message.
Instead of unpacking why Clinton lost to this reality TV host and known corrupt crook, a narrative was promoted by the most powerful political and media actors in our society. This was a Russian plot. Putin stole the election. Trump is a Kremlin agent or asset. It resulted in neocons hugging it out with Democratic strategists and CNN and MSNBC hosts. George W. Bush is now our buddy, the friendly little painter. And isn't it cute how he passes mints to Michelle Obama?
So we're together all the time, and I love him to death. He's a wonderful man. He's a funny man. And it was a simple gesture.
This whole circus also included scores of former CIA, FBI, NSA, DNI, other alphabet soup veterans openly waging information warfare on cable news and as unnamed sources in print stories. But we were told this time, the CIA is on our side. The CIA is telling the truth. Robert Mueller is going to save the republic from the Orange Menace. No, those institutions are and remain what they've always been. And it was a grave media sin to believe otherwise. Every time former CIA Director John Brennan appeared on cable news, it looked to me like information warfare, like an actual CIA propaganda campaign, filled with mysterious references about how he has secret knowledge of what Robert Mueller was really going to do.
And I don't think Robert Mueller will want to have that dramatic flair of the Ides of March when he is going to be delivering what I think are going to be his indictments, the final indictments, as well as the report that he gives to the Attorney General.
We've been subjected to more than 2 years of nonstop, fact-free assertions and wild theories masquerading as fact, masquerading as insightful analysis. We have been repeatedly told that it was the beginning of the end for Trump. And there were tens upon tens of millions of dollars spent on this spectacle. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours of congressional time and energy was poured into proving the conspiracy theory that Trump is a secret Bolshevik operative being run by Putin.
Right? We're told that President Trump has tried to arrange this summit so that at one point in the summit, it will be him and President Putin in a room with no other Americans. There won't, as far as we understand, maybe not even an American translator there. So if President Putin were hypothetically in some sort of position where he could give orders to an American president behind closed doors, no other American would ever know what those orders were.
And this is how major news organizations and powerful connected Democrats and former spies and government agents chose to spend the past 2+ years?
On Monday, the entire world witnessed President Trump cower in the presence of Putin. I sadly beseech President Trump to apologize to the American people for his disgraceful, dangerous, and damaging behavior with Putin.
What is perhaps most remarkable is that while telling us that Trump is the most serious threat to U.S. democracy ever, many Democrats have supported some of the worst aspects of the Trump presidency. They've given him unchecked mass surveillance authorities, supported his bloated war budget, backed his criminal policies on Israel, supported his ongoing attempted coup in Venezuela, and on and on.
At some point, I would imagine things will change, but we really haven't done the really tough sanctions yet. We can do the tough sanctions, and all options are open, so we may be doing that. But we haven't done the toughest of sanctions, as you know.
If the Mueller report says what William Barr says it does regarding no collusion with Russia, it will amount to a massive gift for Donald Trump. It might actually help Trump win again in 2020. That is unconscionable. And anyone who views Trump as a threat to their existence should be furious at the Democrats, the so-called intelligence community, and many of the most high-profile journalists in this country. This is going to be celebrated among the MAGA crowd like it's the second coming of D-Day. Statues are going to be erected. We're going to see Civil War reenactment-style performances about the great hoax against Trump that failed.
The Mueller report was great. It could not have been better. It said no obstruction, no collusion. It could not have been better.
Who's going to pay a price for putting us all in this position? Who is going to pay a price for aiding and abetting Trump by pushing this conspiracy theory? If history is any indication, probably no one. And that's a devastating commentary on the political class and the broader media in this country.